Well, my friends, well. Let's talk video camera basics for Marbles on Stream streamers. You hit escape and you got all these buttons over here, right? So basically I'm just going to talk through that. You don't have to alt tab in Marbles. You just hit tab. That's it. Boom, tab. You're out. You're out of the game, dude. Tab. No alt tab in like other games. It's one of the most beautiful features about Marbles, I think. So, it's like a first-person shooter on a keyboard if you've never played a first-person shooter. WASD moves you forward, backward, left, right. Q sends you down like that's the up and down. Q and E. E is up, Q is down. I use spacebar for up a lot. Shift is a speed boost for the camera. So, let's say I'm just moving this regular speed here. Once I hit shift and I'm holding it down, I'm moving faster. It's like a little speed boost. The mouse is your head swivel. Look around with your mouse. So when I let go of shift, it stops doing the little speed boost. So I'm just like pushing it on and off here, getting little bursts of speed. Also, when you're holding down shift, I like to compare it to like a clutch on a car. When you're holding down shift, you can change the speed of the camera. So when you're holding down shift, using your mouse wheel, you can scroll up, and that'll make the camera go as fast as possible by scrolling up. Scrolling down. I'm still holding shift, by the way, because that's how you change it. So this is the slowest the camera can move, because I held shift, I scrolled my mouse wheel all the way down, and then I let go of shift. So this is the slowest it can move, unless you turn on slow motion, of course. But I'll get into that later. So holding down shift with this doesn't make it much faster because it's super slow. But while you're holding down shift again, you can change the speed of the camera. So going up by one click at a time, I'm just holding down shift. Boop. 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 And we're moving. But I just tend to scroll up and down pretty quick on the mouse wheel unless I'm doing something in slow motion. Then I try to go for more precise speeds. So yeah, I hold down shift a lot and just mess with the mouse wheel like constantly. Because if I'm trying to move fast, let's say I'm down here, I'm trying to move fast and get up to you guys. I'm going to go full speed, holding down shift, W, and scrolling my mouse wheel all the way forward. And then when I get close, I'm scrolling my mouse wheel down to slow down the camera. Fast, slow. Fast, slow. You can just mess and play with that. So yeah, that's basics for WASD, QE, up and down. Spacebar also goes up. That's what I tend to use a lot. Shift is your speed boost, and the mouse wheel, while you're holding down shift, will make the camera go faster or slower. Your mouse is your head swivel. Let's race. 45 seconds on the clock. So a lot of times, beginning of the race, I'll, just kind of have a slow camera going on. So if you want to get some sweet shots that are clean without any of this stuff, like names, you hit Alt. That'll get rid of the names. Alt is names on and off. H will get rid of the HUD, everything around you. So you can get some nice, clean shots with no names and no HUD on. Yeah, I instinctually use spacebar too, but E does it as well. So a lot of the times when I'm going down the track like this, I'm messing with the speed of the camera. Like I'm slowing it down, speeding it up, just trying to like stay with the balls and the speed of the balls. Constantly holding down shift. Something during the races, you can press 1 through 0, and that'll get you to the top 10. It'll snap to the top 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Alt again, that's to turn the names on and off. The thing with the top 10 is, it's who's ever closest to the finish line. So right now, first place is not going to be actually first place because Profanity had to loop around there. So just keep that in mind if you press. Sometimes the top 10 are not actually in order. A way to somewhat deal with that is with the F button after connecting to it. So if you hold down F, you can see a dot shows up in the middle of the screen. I'm just tapping it right now, but you hold it down and a dot shows up. You can hold down F, put that dot over a ball, let go of F, and then boom, we're connected. We are connected to that ball. And you can zoom in and out on that ball with the mouse wheel. So if you can't, for whatever reason, grab the ball you want to in the top 10, you can always use F. T is a huge button as well. Slow motion. That's what I'm in right now. I'm in slow motion. I press T, boom. And then when you use the F button, it's a lot easier to grab a ball that's moving in slow motion than it is in full motion. Another thing about slow motion, you can do it at the beginning of the race before the race even starts. Using the brackets, the left and right bracket, the right bracket will make slow motion even slower. So right now I have it on extreme slow motion. I pressed T, and then I pressed the right bracket. I think it's 3 or 4 times. I think it's 3 times. And then the left bracket will make it faster. So now it's going faster. Even though it's still in slow motion, it's still slower than the actual motion. Now also you can see right now I have the whole board clean by hitting H. The HUD's gone. Alt gets rid of the names, but it doesn't get rid of new players loading in. So as you can see, new names are popping up.
Exclamation point play.
To prevent this, you hold down Shift and then Alt, and then anybody new that comes into the race, their name won't pop up. So if you're trying to get these really clean pre-game shots, you want to make sure to hit Shift Alt so that anybody coming in, their name doesn't show up over their ball. So right now I'm in super slow motion. I'm still messing with my camera all the time, and the camera is affected by slow motion too. So from before, like I said, if you're holding down Shift and messing with your mouse wheel, it'll speed up and slow down the camera, but when you're in slow motion, it's different. Like the camera's affected by that too, but it's still doable. What else we got here? So Alt brings the names back. Shift Alt gets rid of them, and then anybody new loading in, their name won't show up. So I'll just test that real quick. Kick myself. Oh, somebody just loaded in too. But let me join again. So I'm loading in back here, and my name's not on my ball, so that's good to go. Boom. So also, if you're holding down, say the names are off, and you hit Shift Alt to bring the names back on, it'll bring on everybody except, no, it'll just bring on subs, right? Yeah, that's what it is. It'll bring on subs, and then non-subs names, you just press Alt and those will come back on too. Alt takes them all off. Shift Alt takes them all off. And then if a new person loads in, it won't show their name. Shift Alt, when you turn it back on, brings up everybody except non-subs. And then you just press Alt again, and it brings up the non-subs. So yeah, anytime I want to use that F button, my immediate reaction is boom. I go into slow motion. Maybe use the right bracket to go even slower. And then I grab whatever ball I want. I got M-Gill back here. And then a lot of it, so it takes forever so I grabbed M-Gill's ball, but it's taking forever to zoom in on it. So I'll sometimes go off of slow motion, boom, Oh wait, I guess I missed his ball with my grabs. M-Gill, I'm trying to do a thing here. Okay, we got him this time. So it's taking a while to zoom in. So sometimes I'll hit T and then zoom in real quick and then hit T again and go back to the brackets and slow it down again. So boom, slow motion, F, grab, T, unslow motion, T, slow motion again. Oh, we got Nicole, and then maybe even slower with the bracket. But I play marbles like a first-person shooter because it was like designed like a first-person shooter. So I'm constantly holding down Shift, WASD, spacebar to go up. My mouse wheel's constantly going up and down. I don't really mess with the Shift-Alt thing. I don't turn off the non-subs too often. It's more or less just for the beginning for me. I hit Shift-Alt to make sure that names aren't loading in, because I like that clean look. Yeah, so the controller is great, it's just limited. Because you can't change the speed of the slow motion or the speed of the camera. Oh, Cinecam. So the Cinecam is C. You press C. X gets rid of the that little bit. But H also gets rid of that little bit if you want to clean the whole. So this is H. This is X. We'll get rid of the menu, the Cinecam menu. C turns it on, though. C turns on the Cinecam. And we'll bring up that menu. And really, you just go through here and you mess with stuff. There are some... I don't mind sending people my, like what I have. I have like a warm-colored one. Like this one's kind of warm-colored with a little bit of a motion blur. And some slight lens flare. And then this one is like more of the dark track one. Like quote-unquote the black light one. So I tend to use this warm-colored one. Just on maps like this where the track is kind of warm-colored or... I don't know, there's just warm-colored maps in general, and then the cooler type colored maps and the darker maps are this loadout. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Like, here's my loadout 3. I haven't done anything with it. It's like got this zoom in on it, which I don't really understand why it does that, but I haven't done anything with it, so it's just normal. Might just keep it zoomed in, kind of. And then these two I've messed with. Yeah. It's like up to you to mess with it. It's not automatically built in there. Another use to slow motion is if, like, somebody needs to be kicked, or somebody is late, like they just say hi in chat and there's like 10 seconds left, you can hit slow motion and slow down the timer like crazy before the race and be like, all right, type exclamation point play, like get in here. You can kind of save people from missing a race if you catch it. That's up to you if you want to do something like that, but the option is there. There's ghost balls. Those are only on the standard tracks, other than this one, of course, PPP. But if you hit G, it'll snap to the ghost ball. What is a ghost ball? Purpose of it? So that's record on the track. So it's the best a ball has ever done on that track, just in that specific stream. It's just something fun to do locally. They don't, it's not on the community tracks though. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's up to you what you want to do with the ghost ball stuff. That's it's just a streamer tool. Like, I'm snapped to the ghost ball right now. I can do it before the race, but it hasn't shown up yet because it'll only show up when the race starts. But I'm stuck to it right now. Let's go into the controller. Controller. So with the controller, you can't change the speed of the camera or the speed of the slow motion. No, there is a speed boost. It's left. It's the far back left trigger. So there is. So that's like your shift on the keyboard is L2. L trigger, the trigger back there. So benefits of controller for me are smoothness of your head swivel. The mouse is very clunky. But I've also just used, like right now, I'm using the right stick with my right hand, and I'm using the keyboard as well. Like my hand's on the keyboard and the controller right now. Because I think that is honestly optimal in terms of the head swivel thing. Like, it's just really smooth to look left and right. But then you have all the functionality of the keyboard if you're using your left hand. But then you still can't change the speed of the camera or the slow motion. So anyway, if controllers are easier, I'd say do that. But if you're really trying to get like some nice shots, like being able to control the camera speed and the slow motion speed is so powerful. But like things like Royale or even in races, so if you set your camera to the speed you want and then you start using your joystick, like you can get some nice shots. And then if you're good enough and if you can use I would use my thumb here. So using my thumb or my index to hit T, and then we go into slow motion. Even though there's slow motion on the controller too, but then you have to take your freaking thumb off the joystick. But also while you're doing this, you can use the brackets. Like, so this is a really clean head swivel because I'm using the controller. My hand is literally on A. It's on the A on the keyboard, and my thumb is across the keyboard using the brackets to speed up and slow down the slow motion. And I know that's like, that's a lot, but maybe one day things would be easier. Is it worth it? I don't know. Because I can't put both hands on my controller and also be able to speed up and slow down the slow motion. Yeah, I definitely have piano fingers. But this isn't necessary. Like, this is like super advanced, I feel like. It's not very, you don't use this a lot. Anyway, the left button and the right button, that goes up and down on the controller. Slow motion is X. Taking the names on and off is B. Or the right side, the 3 o'clock button. Should I say that? What if people are using PlayStation? Is there a way to cancel accidental double start? No, but your best option? All right, let's pretend I did it. Oh my God, I double start. Immediately hit T and then hit your right bracket as slow as possible. If that's something you really like, look how slow it's going now. So I hit T, it still hasn't gone down from 10 seconds, and then I just slammed that right bracket a bunch. Super slow-mo, yeah. That's your best save right there. But yeah, mostly, I think that's advanced. You know, using the controller and the keyboard at the same time. I feel like I do that in Royale, and not really any other time, and only for those black hole shots I do. And it's not hard to, like, you don't have to stretch your whole thing across the dingle. You don't have to stretch your whole hand across the thing. Like, I'm using the controller and the keyboard right now, and just like looking at the race, and then I can press 1 if I wanted to, and like, look who's up here. And then I can go back from it. And then I can take my hand off the controller and speed up the camera if I wanted to, then go back to the controller. And this is really only if you like these really smooth shots, like the smooth head swivel, because the mouse is clearly like chunky. And the controller is pretty smooth, as you can see. But this is me just using the controller. Which I'm not used to. I'm not used to doing this. I've been using keyboard and mouse forever. But it's pretty good. And then, again, if you ever wanted to, like, just change the camera speed, you just grab your keyboard and mouse and change it a little bit, which is, again, a little bit of a struggle, but not the end of the world. Or you just find where it's good for you and you do it like this. You got your speed boost on your left trigger. So you got that at least. Got your up and down with your left and right buttons. Got your slow motion with your, I guess that would be what's square or X. And then your names with circle or B. And those are the controller controls for now anyway. Maybe they'll get more advanced in the future. So my go-to again is keyboard and mouse, but I will mess with this joystick a bit to get those clean swivels, man. Cause they nice. So this is a map that can be decent with my warmth. You don't have to alt tab in marbles. You just hit tab. That's it. Boom, tab. You're out. You're out of the game, dude. Tab. No alt tab in like other games. It's one of the most beautiful features about marbles, I think. And that's why at the beginning of the race as well, you're like, you can't move at all. If you just hit tab, you'll have the camera. That's something that people don't realize when they first start marbles. Like, the camera doesn't move when you first get into a race. Just make sure you click your cursor in the game and then hit tab and you're good to go. So here, I'm gonna turn on the Cinecam. Boom. And then I have my scenes that clean everything up. Really go into cinematic mode if I want.